stop scrolling. Because one of these R&B songs changed music so much, you still hear it today, even if you don't know where it came from.
And I wish you joy.
This isn't just a list of hits. These are R&B songs that changed how music sounds, feels, and moves. And here's the wild part. One song on this list didn't just top the charts, it rewrote the rules for singers, producers, and pop stars forever. Picture you and me late at night, radio low, lights soft. One song plays, and suddenly music feels different. That's what these records did, again and again, across generations. Because if you don't know these songs, you'll never understand why R&B sounds the way it does today, or why pop and hip-hop still follow its lead. So stay with me. I'm counting down from 10 to 1, breaking down the R&B songs that changed music forever, and by the end, you'll hear every love song differently.
Treat me wrong. Come and love it.
Number 10, Ray Charles, What'd I Say? This song feels like church doors flying open into a late night party. You hear the electric piano start talking, hands start clapping, and suddenly the room wakes up. It sounds playful, bold, and a little dangerous like music, smiling while breaking rules. What'd I Say was released in 1959 on Atlantic Records, produced by Jerry Wexler. During a time when music was still separated into church and worldly sounds, Ray Charles blended gospel call and response, blues piano, and R&B rhythm into one record.
When you see me in the middle.
The lyrics are simple, almost teasing, but the real power is in the back and forth between Ray and the Raylettes. The song became Ray Charles's first major crossover hit, reaching the top 10 on the pop chart and helping create what we now call soul music.
Come over, baby,
Fun fact, this song was born on stage. Ray Charles was running out of songs at a live show, so he made this one up on the spot, telling the band and singers to follow his lead. The crowd went crazy, and Ray knew instantly he had something special. Why it changed music forever. Before this song, sacred music and sexy music stayed far apart. What'd I Say smashed them together and nothing sounded the same after. It opened the door for soul, funk, modern R&B, and even rock and roll to exist the way we know them. Real R&B heads know. This is where the line got crossed for good. And if you think this record pushed boundaries, wait until the next song, because it took R&B from playful to deeply personal in a whole new way. Number 9, Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. This song feels like the lights going low and the whole room getting quiet on purpose. You're not rushing anywhere, radio on, night air warm, hearts open. It's slow, sweet, and honest. Like two people finally telling the truth without shame. Let's Get It On was released in 1973 on Tamla Motown Records, produced by Marvin Gaye and Ed Townsend, during a time when soul music was growing up. The song is about love, desire, and human connection, but it also carries a deeper message about natural love and honesty, not just sex. It hit No. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of Marvin Gaye's biggest songs ever. This record didn't just sell, it changed how R&B talked about intimacy.
And if you feel like I feel, baby, then...
Fun fact, the song started as a spiritual idea, not a bedroom one. Marvin originally wrote parts of it thinking about love as a natural God-given thing, and only later leaned into the romantic side. That's why it feels warm and soulful, not cheap or rushed.
Come on, oh, come on. Ooh.
Why it's forgotten, underrated, because it became too famous. People joke about it, play it for laughs, and forget how bold it was when it first dropped. Its deeper meaning got covered up by its reputation. Real heads know this wasn't just a slow jam, it was a line crossed forever. Remember earlier when I said some songs scared the music industry? This is one of them. Some people say Motown didn't fully know what to do with Marvin at this point. In interviews, it's been said the label was nervous. First he made What's Going On, talking about war and pain, and now he was making a song this open about love and desire. There were different versions of the story, but the tension was real. Marvin wanted freedom, and Motown wanted control. Radio stations hesitated at first. Older listeners raised eyebrows, but the fans decided. The song blew up, and Marvin proved that grown black love could be honest, beautiful, and powerful on record.
Let's get it on. That's love, baby.
That moment opened the door for decades of R&B, from Barry White to Luther to modern slow jams. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history.
Let's get it on.
And if you think this song changed how love sounds, keep listening, because the next one changed how power and pride sound in music forever. Number 8, Stevie Wonder, Superstition. This song feels like danger and groove shaking hands. The moment that beat drops, your head starts nodding without asking permission. Picture late night radio, volume up, speakers buzzing, and that funky clavinet bouncing through the room like it's alive. Superstition was released in 1972 on Motown Records, produced by Stevie Wonder himself during his creative freedom era. Stevie played most of the instruments, including the famous clavinet riff that drives the whole song. The lyrics warn about believing in bad luck, signs, and fear, instead of thinking for yourself. The song hit No. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, crossed R&B and pop radio, and became one of the most recognizable grooves in music history. This record proved R&B could be funky, smart, and powerful all at once. Fun fact, Stevie originally wrote Superstition for guitarist Jeff Beck, but when Stevie's own version blew up first, it became his song forever. Also, that famous clavinet sound, Stevie played it in one take and knew it was special right away. Why it's forgotten, underrated. The song itself isn't forgotten, but how revolutionary it was often gets overlooked. People dance to it without realizing it changed R&B production forever. It gets overshadowed by Stevie's other classics like Sir Duke or Isn't She Lovely? Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember earlier when I said some songs were born from tension behind the scenes? This is one of those moments. Some people say Motown didn't fully understand what Stevie was becoming at this point. In interviews, it's been said Stevie fought hard for creative control, wanting to write, produce, and play everything himself. There were different versions of the story, but the truth is clear. Superstition came out during a power shift when Stevie stopped being just a hit maker and became a musical genius in charge of his own sound. That control changed everything. It opened the door for artists to demand freedom, make deeper music, and trust their instincts. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And keep listening, because the next song takes R&B from funky confidence into something even bigger, brighter, and more unforgettable.
You want, baby, I got what you need.
Number 7, Aretha Franklin, Respect. This song feels like somebody standing tall and finally speaking up.
Do you know I got it? All I'm asking.
Picture a small radio playing loud in the house, windows open, people nodding their heads like, yes, say that again. It's strong, confident, and proud, like music with its shoulders back.
It's for a little respect when you just a little bit, hey, baby, just a little bit.
Respect was released in 1967 on Atlantic Records, produced by Jerry Wexler, during a tense time in America with civil rights marches and women demanding equal treatment. The song was originally written and recorded by Otis Redding, but Aretha completely flipped it. She changed the meaning from a man asking for respect to a woman demanding it. The song hit No, won on the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B chart, and instantly became a global anthem for women's rights and Black pride. After this record, Aretha wasn't just a singer, she was a voice of the people. Fun fact, the famous R-E-S-P-E-C-T spelling part wasn't even in the original song. Aretha added it herself, along with the background vocals by her sisters. That one moment turned the song into history. Why it's forgotten? Underrated? The song itself isn't forgotten, but how radical it was sometimes is. People hear it today as a classic old hit and forget how bold it sounded in 1967. It didn't just entertain, it challenged the world. Real heads know this wasn't just a song. It was a statement. Remember earlier when I hinted that one song on this list caused tension and flipped power? This is that song. Some people say Otis Redding was surprised by how Aretha changed the meaning. In interviews, it's been said he respected her version, but also admitted she took his song away from him. There are different versions of the story, but what's clear is this. Aretha's version hit harder because of who she was and when it came out. Radio stations played it nonstop, but some conservative listeners and critics were uncomfortable with how direct it sounded, especially coming from a Black woman. That discomfort is exactly why the song mattered. It didn't get pushed underground, it got pushed forward, becoming louder and more powerful because people needed it. Respect changed how women sang about love, how Black artists spoke in music, and how R&B could stand for something bigger than romance. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And if this song sounded powerful, keep listening, because the next record didn't just demand respect, it changed how a whole generation felt love and freedom. Number 6, Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. This song feels like joy turning into motion. Picture a packed dance floor in 1979, mirror balls spinning, sweat in the air, lights flashing, and everybody smiling while moving at the same time. The groove lifts you up, the falsetto pulls you in, and suddenly you don't want the night to end. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough was released in 1979 on Epic Records, produced by Quincy Jones and recorded at Westlake Studios in Los Angeles. It was the lead single from Michael Jackson's album Off the Wall, marking the moment Michael fully stepped out as an adult solo artist. The song is about pure joy and desire, chasing a feeling, love, and freedom without stopping. It hit No, won on the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B chart, won a Grammy, and helped blend R&B, disco, funk, and pop into one unstoppable sound. Fun fact, Michael wrote this song himself, his first solo. No one as a songwriter. That famous high falsetto at the start wasn't planned as a gimmick. It was Michael showing confidence and control, letting the world know, this is my voice now. Why it's forgotten, underrated. This song gets overshadowed by what came next, Thriller, Moonwalks, and global superstardom. People dance to it, but forget how risky and new it sounded in 1979. Real R&B heads keep this one like a secret key. because this is where Michael truly became Michael. Remember earlier when I hinted that this song marked a quiet power shift? This is that moment. Some people say Don't Stop Till You Get Enough caused tension behind the scenes. In interviews, it's been said Michael wanted more creative control than he had during his Motown years. There were different versions of the story, but one thing is clear. This was the first time Michael proved he didn't need anyone telling him how to sound. That confidence changed his relationship with labels, producers, and even the industry itself. Because of this song's success, Michael gained leverage, more control, more freedom, and that opened the door to Off the Wall, Thriller, and everything that followed. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And if you think this was a breakthrough, keep listening, because the next song didn't just change R&B, it changed how artists own their sound forever.
If you will, the picture of you and I and Gaye.
Number 5, Prince, When Doves Cry. This song feels like standing alone in a dark room, thinking about love that hurts more than it helps. The beat is sharp, the synths feel cold, and Prince sounds angry, confused, and honest all at once. It's not a slow dance, it's a heart talking out loud at 2 a.m. When Doves Cry came out in 1984 on Warner Brothers Records, written, produced, and performed almost entirely by Prince himself at his Paisley Park-era home studio.
Can you, my darling, can you picture
The song is about toxic love, family pain, ego, and emotional confusion. Inspired by Prince's own parents' troubled relationship and the themes of the film Purple Rain. Here's the shocker. The song has no bass line, which was almost illegal in R&B at the time. It went no. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 5 weeks and became the best-selling single of 1,984 inches, the U.S. Fun fact, Prince originally recorded a bass line for the song but removed it at the last second because it felt too normal. Radio executives were scared, but Prince didn't care. He trusted his ears more than the rules. Why it's forgotten, underrated. People remember the hits around it, but forget how crazy and risky this song really was. Over time, it got overshadowed by Prince's fashion, movies, and later classics. But make no mistake, this record changed the rules. Real heads keep this one like a secret key. Remember earlier when I teased that one song broke the rules so hard it scared the industry? This is that song. Some people say radio didn't know what to do with When Doves Cry because it didn't sound like R&B, pop, or rock. In interviews, it's been said label executives worried the missing bass would kill it on black radio and confuse mainstream listeners. There are different versions of the story, but what's clear is this: Prince refused to change it. That decision mattered. By trusting his vision, Prince showed artists they didn't need permission to be different. The song's success proved that feeling beats formulas. It pushed R&B into a more emotional, experimental space and gave future artists freedom to break structure, bend genre, and still win. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And if you think that was fearless, keep listening, because the next song turned pure emotion into a global moment nobody could escape. Number 4, Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. This song feels like the whole world goes quiet so one voice can speak. Picture a late night radio, lights low, your chest tight, and then Whitney starts soft, real soft. When she finally lets it fly, it feels like your heart opens and the room lifts with her.
Memories that
I Will Always Love You was released in 1992 on Arista Records, produced by David Foster and recorded for the Bodyguard movie soundtrack. The song was written by Dolly Parton back in 1973, but Whitney turned it into a full R&B and pop moment.
Is all I am taking with me.
The lyrics are about letting go with love, not anger, walking away, but wishing the best. The song went no. 1 for 14 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, became the best-selling single by a female artist for years, and played nonstop on radio, TV, weddings, funerals, and movie scenes around the world.
So goodbye.
Fun fact, Whitney almost didn't sing this song. Another track was planned for the movie, but at the last minute, Kevin Costner suggested I Will Always Love You. The long, quiet intro with no music at first was risky for radio, but it became one of the most famous openings in music history.
But please don't cry. We both know.
Why it's forgotten, underrated. The song isn't forgotten, but its power gets taken for granted. People joke about it, imitate it, or only remember the big note, not the control, pain, and beauty behind it. New singers chase loud vocals, but forget the feeling Whitney put into every word.
I'm not what you need.
Real R&B heads know this is vocal gold, not just a big moment. Remember earlier when I teased that one song changed how people judge singers forever? This is that song. Some people say this record raised the bar too high. After it dropped, singers, especially women, were expected to out-sing Whitney, not out-feel the song. In interviews, it's been said that record labels started pushing artists to chase the big note instead of strong songwriting and emotion. There are different versions of the story, but the impact was clear. R&B and pop shifted toward vocal gymnastics, and many artists were unfairly compared to Whitney for decades. The song also blurred genre lines. Country fans debated it, R&B fans claimed it, pop radio embraced it fully. That crossover made Whitney a global icon, but it also placed impossible pressure on her career afterward. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And keep listening, because the next song didn't just change how people sing, it changed how real R&B started to sound again.
Let me tell you about this girl, baby.
Number 4, Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. This song feels like the whole world goes quiet so one voice can speak. Picture a late night radio, lights low, your chest tight, and then Whitney starts soft, real soft. When she finally lets it fly, it feels like your heart opens and the room lifts with her.
I met her in Philly, and her name was Brian. See, we be making.
I Will Always Love You was released in 1992 on Arista Records, produced by David Foster, and recorded for the Bodyguard movie soundtrack. The song was written by Dolly Parton back in 1973, but Whitney turned it into a full R&B and pop moment.
Love constantly, that's why my eyes are a shade blood burgundy. The way
The lyrics are about letting go with love, not anger, walking away, but wishing the best. The song went no. 1 for 14 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, became the best-selling single by a female artist for years, and played nonstop on radio, TV, weddings, funerals, and movie scenes around the world.
that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing when I'm kissing what I'm missing. Won't you listen?
Fun fact, Whitney almost didn't sing this song. Another track was planned for the movie, but at the last minute, Kevin Costner suggested I Will Always Love You. The long, quiet intro with no music at first was risky for radio, but it became one of the most famous openings in music history.
Brown sugar, babe. I guess high up your love, I don't know how.
Why it's forgotten, underrated. The song isn't forgotten, but its power gets taken for granted. People joke about it, imitate it, or only remember the big note, not the control, pain, and beauty behind it. New singers chase loud vocals, but forget the feeling Whitney put into every word. Real R&B heads know this is vocal gold, not just a big moment. Remember earlier when I teased that one song changed how people judge singers forever? This is that song. Some people say this record raised the bar too high. After it dropped, singers, especially women, were expected to out-sing Whitney, not out-feel the song. In interviews, it's been said that record labels started pushing artists to chase the big note instead of strong songwriting and emotion. There are different versions of the story, but the impact was clear. R&B and pop shifted toward vocal gymnastics, and many artists were unfairly compared to Whitney for decades. The song also blurred genre lines. Country fans debated it, R&B fans claimed it, pop radio embraced it fully. That crossover made Whitney a global icon, but it also placed impossible pressure on her career afterward. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And keep listening, because the next song didn't just change how people sing, it changed how real R&B started to sound again.
Let's go! In the club with my homies, trying to get a little VI. Keep it down.
Number 2, Usher. Yeah, 2004. This song feels like the exact moment the club doors open and everybody rushes in. The beat drops, the bass hits your chest, and the whole room moves at once. Hands up, sweat in the air, smiles everywhere. It's loud, confident, and impossible to ignore. Like the night just started and nobody wants to go home.
On the low key, you know how it feels.
Yeah was released in 2004 on LaFace, Arista Records, as the lead single from Usher's album Confessions. It was produced by Lil Jon, with a feature from Ludacris, blending classic R&B vocals with Southern crunk energy. The song is about nightlife, attraction, and that moment when the party takes over your body before your brain can catch up.
And she was checking up on me from the game. She was spitting in my ear. You would think that she knew me.
It spent 12 weeks at No, won on the Billboard Hot 100, top charts worldwide, and became one of the biggest songs of the 2000s. This record changed how R&B sounded on the radio and in the club.
Decided to cheat. Conversation got heavy.
Fun fact, when Usher first heard the beat, he wasn't sure it was R&B enough. Lil Jon had to convince him to try it. Once Usher sang over it, everybody in the room knew instantly it was special. Why it changed music forever. Before, yeah, R&B and hip-hop shared space, but stayed in their own lanes. This song smashed those lanes together and made it normal. After this, R&B singers didn't just sing to the club, they ran the club.
She had me feeling like she's ready to blow.
Real R&B heads know this is when R&B took over pop culture again. Remember earlier when I said one song changed who controlled the sound of the charts? This is that song. Some people say, yeah, pushed R&B too close to hip-hop and club music. Others say it saved R&B by keeping it young, loud, and relevant. In interviews, it's been said labels started chasing this exact sound, crunk beats, rap features, big hooks sometimes, at the cost of slow jams and pure soul. There are different versions of the story, but the impact is clear.
So I got up and followed her to the floor. She said, baby.
After Yeah, every R&B artist was expected to make a club hit. That pressure reshaped the genre. It gave us massive crossover stars, but it also made some quieter R&B voices harder to hear. Still, this song's legacy can't be denied. It proved R&B could dominate radio, clubs, and culture all at once.
Let's go. When I told her, I said,
That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history. And now, keep listening, because number one didn't just change R&B's sound, it changed what a superstar even looks like.
All right, quick pause in the countdown, because I need to say this from the heart. If these R&B picks are hitting you, if they're bringing back memories, late night vibes, old playlists, and that feeling you can't explain, then please subscribe to Sexual 69 right now. Not just for you, but because it genuinely helps this channel survive and grow. Every subscribe is like you telling YouTube, yes, this music matters. Keep this kind of content alive. It pushes these forgotten songs back into the light, helps more real R&B lovers find the channel, and lets me keep making deeper, better, countdowns for you. So if you want more lists like this, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and drop a comment with the one R&B song that raised you. Let's bring these classics back together.
So deep in your eyes, I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave.
Number 1, Beyonce, Crazy in Love. This song hits like summer heat the second it starts. Those horns blast, the beat drops, and suddenly the whole room wakes up. Clubs, weddings, car radios, street corners, everywhere. It feels bold, fearless, and confident, like someone finally realizing who they are and daring the world to watch.
I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny.
Crazy in Love was released in 2003 as Beyonce's first solo single on Columbia Records, produced by Rich Harrison. The song is built around a horn sample from the She Lights 1970s soul record, Are You My Woman, Tell Me So, tying old school soul directly to modern R&B.
Thing for me to try to explain how I'm feeling, and my pride is the one to blame.
Lyrically, it's about everyday love, but the kind that makes you act different, brave, and a little reckless. The song hit note, won on the Billboard Hot 100, stayed there for weeks, won a Grammy, and became one of the most played R&B pop records of the 2000s. More importantly, it announced Beyonce as a solo force, not just a group member.
No, I don't understand just how your love can do it, no one else can. Got me looking so
Fun fact, when Beyonce first heard the beat, she knew immediately it was special and recorded the vocals fast. The horns everyone remembers came from a dusty 1970s soul record most young listeners had never heard. That blend of old soul and new energy became her secret weapon.
crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy.
Why it's forgotten, underrated. The song isn't forgotten, but its importance is often overlooked. People hear it today and think, just another hit, without realizing it changed how R&B stars are built. Beyonce's later eras were so massive that this moment sometimes gets taken for granted.
Right now, your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you pay.
Real heads know, this was the key that unlocked everything. Remember earlier when I teased that one song on this list didn't just go no one, but quietly rewrote the rules? This is that song. Some people say the industry wasn't fully sure Beyonce could stand alone after Destiny's Child.
Right now, your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me.
In interviews, it's been said there were doubts about whether she needed a group image to succeed. There were also mixed opinions about adding Jay-Z to the record. Some saw it as risky, others saw it as a smart bridge between R&B and hip-hop.
Got me looking so crazy, your love.
There are different versions of the story, but what's clear is this. Once the song dropped, fans made the decision. Radio couldn't ignore it, clubs couldn't avoid it, MTV played it nonstop. That success changed label thinking. Overnight, suddenly, female R&B artists weren't just singers anymore. They were brands, leaders, and main characters. After Crazy in Love, the industry chased bigger rollouts, stronger visuals, and artists who could dominate music and culture at the same time. That shift didn't just help Beyonce, it reshaped modern R&B and pop stardom. That's why this tune isn't just music, it's history.
When I talk to my friends so quietly.
And now that you've heard, number 1, go back through the list because every song before this was a step leading right here.